Hello, Professor. My name is Rishti Tiwari, and in my group, we are myself and Sashank Sharma. So today we will be discussing second part of our project, security testing, in which we have completed series of challenges around a vulnerable web application, which is also called OSAP JUSHOP. We have completed all these challenges on virtual machine Kali Linux with the OS JUSHOP. Here we had to do 4 tasks. So now we will be discussing each challenges one by one. Each we will discuss steps involved in it, what vulnerability we have exploited, and how it can be fixed or prevented, and some real world scenarios as well. So in the first part, we have password strength, which Shashank will discuss. Shashank, over to you.
Thank you, Srishti. Hello, Professor. So the first attack we performed was password strength, and it basically was to check the strength of the passwords of the users of USOP applications. Okay, so to complete this challenge, we used Burp Suite tool, and here what we did, we searched for the comments and for the reviews, and we found few email IDs as well. So particularly for this challenge, we chose an admin email ID, which we assumed that it would be a legit email ID for this QShop application. So before logging into the account with this email ID, we configured the proxy on the browser and turned the inceptor on this Suite tool. So what happens in this case, we had set the URL in this tool, and whatever request the user will send now will first come here on the Suite tool, and from here we will send it forward. So what we did here, we changed and provide few passwords in the payload. Before this, we set the passwords as the parameter in the request. So we could provide multiple combinations with this parameter. Moreover, these passwords were totally based on the assumptions like what could be the possible weak passwords for an admin. And then we started the process. Can you scroll more? Then we started the process. Scroll more. Yeah. Then we started the process and hit all the passwords with given email ID. And we were able to identify which requests had the response with 200 status code. So here what happens, the response with 200 code is a successful response. So using this process, we were able and we were able to got to know that the password of the admin for that particular ID is this. So here, we were able to break this functionality as this application was vulnerable enough for such sort of attacks. Can you scroll more? Yeah. So as we have, can you scroll down? As we have, yeah, just here. So here, uh, so here we were successfully able to break this functionality. So if I talk about the real world scenarios, then suppose if I'm able to access admin and any other person's credential, then it could really be disastrous for any application, as an admin has almost, all the control over the application. For an instance, if I got the credential of an admin or let's say a person who is a user of a particular e-commerce website, then I could obtain many information like his card number, the CVV code he uses, as many people generally save such sort of information on such websites. In addition to this, I can do shopping, I can write bad reviews, and I can do many other bad things, and that too on someone else's credentials. So to prevent or fix such sort of attacks, what uh, we can do the things like when designing applications, we should provide some sort of authentication like two-way authentication, which requires OTP and the stuff like that. Moreover, we could provide user with notification that someone is trying to log in with your email ID. In addition, as a user, we should refrain ourselves to provide email IDs on the internet if not necessary. Moreover, we should not keep obvious and simple passwords. Means our password should be complex enough, and the password must not be easy to guess. Now, Srishti will discuss about the next task we performed.
So our next task is the Log in with MaxSafe search original user credential. So this is in the category of sensitive data exposure. So for this we have searched the review page, and in review page we have found the Max search email ID, and after that we have searched about the what is MaxF search, and we found one rapper video who is very concerned about the password and security. So we have tried to listen his rap video, and in his rap he talked about his favorite dog, which is Mr. Noodles. And he also told that he always try to put some tricky password. He replaced vowel with the numbers. So we have tried to log in his account with his pet's name, Mr. Noodle, and we have just replaced the vowel O with 0, and it's his ID is successfully hacked by us. You can see the in above a screenshot. So uh, how we can prevent this kind of vulnerabilities? So this is the sensitive data exposure. So you can apply the access control and proper data encryption, a strong password and updated protocols, and a stored password using adaptive and salted hashing function, and disable caching, autocomplete data collection, minimizing safe data area. These are the method to prevent this kind of attack. And what is the real world scenario? So real world scenario is that this kind of public data can be easily found to any malicious actor, like name, full name, phone number, address from the driving license, and from the Facebook account and any social media account. And this are comes under the sensitive data category. People are unaware what to post and what to not, and they might be hacked by the malicious user. So next task is the bosun's favorite pet, which is the category of broken authentication. So first of all, we should know what is the broken authentication. It refers to the weakness in two areas. First one is session management, and the second one is credential management. So how we can pass this challenge? So for this, we have also go to the review page of West Juice Shop, and we have found the Bojan's email ID, and we had tried to forget password mechanism uh, on his ID, and he has said the security question, what is your favorite pet name? So our next target would search the Bojan's full name and his pet name. So we have searched about his email ID, and we have found one YouTube video in which his full name, Bojan Skimnich, is written there. So we have found his full name. Now, the next we have searched his full name, and we have found the first search result as his Twitter account. And we have gone through his Twitter account, and by scrolling, we have found one video about his cat, and the name of cat is Zaya. And we had tried to forward password mechanism and put Zaya in the answer, and now you can see that his ID is compromised, and we have successfully complete the challenge. So again, how this type of attack can be prevented? So we should use multi-factor authentication. We can use SSL certificate, enforce a strong password, and we don't share our password in a clear text. And we can use the breach password protection, control session timeout, rotate and invalid session ID, and don't put session ID in the URLs, username and password enumeration. These are some method to prevent these kind of attack. And the real world scenario is the similar I have discussed in the task 3. And these are comes under the category of session ID exposure in the URL. Session ID is easy to guess. Session ID does not rotate, and session ID invalid upon the rotation. So if we are uh, setting our security question very genuine, which can be guessed or from the social media account, or which can be guessed from Google or Wikipedia or Twitter. So We can't share this kind of security question on over the social media. So next our challenge is task 4, which will be discussed by Shashank, over to you.
Yeah, so here I came again. So another attack we performed for our assignment was cross-site server scripting, which is also known as XSS, which is a client-side code injection. So what happens here, an attacker generally sends the code to the web application, and for this he uses the victim's browser to execute it. So there are three things included for this attack. First one is attacker, second one is web application, and the third one is victim. So suppose there is a web application and this web application is vulnerable to XSS attack, as the HTML code of this web application allows the attacker to execute the code in it. So what happens in such sort of attacks? The attacker uses the post method to send the script, and this script contains the malicious code and that can be used to steal victims' information or other things as well. For instance, like posting comments or posting questions on the websites or many other functionalities. And then HTML code behind this allows the posting or printing such sort of comments or things like this. And when victims sends a GET request, for example, when he uses the web application for looking for the comments, then this HTML code will allow and print the code which was there in database or which was saved there on the server. Uh, so once the victim's browser executes the script, then attacker can get anything as per the code he has written it for, or he has injected it for. So for this attack, also we use Burp Suite tool. We set the configuration like previous attack. We entered the data in the sign up page of JuShop application to create a new account. Yeah, like that. And then before submitting this information, we turn the injector on there in the Bubsuit tool. After that, we change the username with the script, the malicious script, and then send the request to the server. Request was successful, and we were able to inject this code on the server side in the HTML, yeah, like this. So this was a successful request, and we were able to send. We were able to inject this code on the server side, and that too in the HTML of this web application. Can you scroll more? Yeah, and this way we were able to complete this task as well. Can you scroll more? Yeah, more. You can see here that we managed to complete this task. Yeah. So now if I talk about real world scenarios, an attacker can perform any sort of operations if he finds out that a particular application is vulnerable enough for such sort of attacks like cross-site server scripting, and which allows a person to execute code in its HTML. So using this attack, an attacker could steal the things like cookies and many other things. Uh, like your information, like card information, or many things which you have saved in your system. And once the script is executed, as we never know, and once the script is executed, we never know that what this script is capable of doing. So it can do any sort of things. So if I talk about a solution of such sort of attack, what we can do, we can we can we can refrain ourselves not to click on the links that we don't trust. Another thing what we can do is like we can, I mean, in such sort of attack, what we do, browser allows the script to be executed. So we can do such sort of settings in our browsers, which will not allow such sort of scripts to be executed on our side. So, so such sort of attacks could be avoided. Another thing to avoid or fix such sort of attacks could be like while building such sort of web applications, we should not allow untrusted data to be posted directly on our website. If I talk about an example, then many applications like Amazon nowadays, you know, what they do, if we posted a comment, they did not allow us to directly posted it on their website. They first monitor what we have posted, and they check the things what the verbiage is. Then we are allowed to post it the comment. So that was all from our side for this assignment. Thank you so much.